You're back with another one. This time we got top 10 good guys who started off bad. Bob 82. Sure, y'all. Like they video, sub to their channel. Like my video, sub to my channel. And I know you guys see the difference in the background. Yeah. Upgrading. We upgrading over here. We upgrading. We upgrading. Let's get into it.
It's good to be bad. It's even better to go from bad to good. This is the unwritten law of anime, where we all root for a villain who has a change of heart and joins the cause of the right and just. The anime universe is chock full of characters who aren't villains to the bitter end, but rather rogues and scoundrels on first impression. It might be their actions, impulsive or otherwise, justifiable or not. It might be their personality that makes them antagonistic and evil, even if that's not their true intention. It might be a difficult past, the scars of which they need to be rescued from. Naturally, there comes a time when they shed their animosity and go over to the bright side. And when that happens, all sins are forgiven and past indiscretions forgotten. Just like that. So in today's video, let's count down the top 10 anime good guys who started off bad and cheer them on as they transform into the champions, guardians and protectors we've all come to love and admire.
Oh yeah, he was grade A jerk.
Appearances can be deceptive. To be clear, Teru, a talented esper and arguably Mob's first rival, isn't the dictionary definition of bad. His problem is that he's supremely arrogant and has a hugely inflated ego thanks to his academic brilliance, popularity with his peers, and his psychic abilities. He thinks, quite mistakenly, that the world revolves around him and there's no one quite like him. Now, this proud peacock has his delusional dream shattered into a million pieces when Mob beats the socks, pants and every other item of clothing off him. From then on, Teru is a changed boy, and not just because he loses half of his hair in the fight. Humbled by defeat, he even begins to emulate Mob, adopting his code of not using psychic powers to hurt others. Defeat also teaches Teru the meaning of vulnerability, a valuable life lesson. He might still have a little trouble being modest, but we definitely like him better now, even when his hair sometimes resembles a stack of hay. We all love watching anime, but how about taking it a step further with one of the best anime MMORPGs in town? Let me introduce you to the sponsors of this video, Aura
Get your money,
Kingdom.
fam. Get your money.
Throwing the second punch is Hajime no Ippo's Mashiba.
Hey. I started watching this last night randomly. It was one of those things. It kind of like crept in there, and I was like, I'm gonna see what it's about. And I love it. I'm in love. I love Megalobox already, but I love this. Look into my eyes. You see the passion? You see the passion. His first fight against Miata had me hooked. It had me hooked. That's how you get me. And then I also like the style, just like the old school, like Yu Yu Hakusho style animation. I like that too.
Ryo, who looks every bit the villain he is, at least in the first arc of this boxing anime. They call him Shinigami or Death God, an alias earned by beating multiple opponents into retirement, and it's easy to see why. His skills are off the charts. In the ring, his hitman stance and killer jab are legendary, but it's his penchant to play dirty that makes him extra nasty. He thinks nothing of foot stomps and headbutts to get out of a sticky situation. Out of the ring too, Mashiba is hostile, rude, and unsociable. When his sister Kumi throws him a celebratory party, she realizes he doesn't have a single friend. So what redeems him? Well, for one, he's fiercely protective of Kumi, who he's looked out for from a young age after their parents' death. He has a genuine love for boxing that's a pleasure to watch, and he has the social skills of a slug, which makes him easily misunderstood and that much more relatable. He's a diamond in the rough. Well, that might be taking things a little bit too far, but it's suffice to say, Mashiba is not the devil. Moving on to
Bruh. What they did to Oda was travesty. I felt so bad for him, bro. I was like, no, he gonna lose his girl. He gonna lose his girl. I was hurt. I was like, nah. And then I was also like, I mean, she did kind of just want to leave you because he was a loser, though. I get her reasoning, but it really boils down to you a loser, so you got to get your shit together, bro. I mean, So I couldn't be too mad at both sides, but still, it was just kind of tragic. It was kind of tragic. But that ref was pissing me off. Like, bro, that cut was a little bit, you know, a little, you know. I'm like, let him fight. He fine. And then you can't do that, bro.
Number 8 is Nishiki.
Watch that fight.
Nishiki is a model student and devoted boyfriend by day, but night reveals his true identity, a ghoul that eats humans. That's not what makes him bad though, all ghouls do that, since this is the only way for them to survive. But Nishiki is a ruthless, violent rebel without a cause who kills for sport. He shows no loyalty to humans or ghouls and can just as easily kill his own kind if they trespass on his feeding grounds. He's not above sadistic tricks either, as he shows when he takes Hide hostage to target Kaneki. Even his relationship with Kimi, his human girlfriend, is dishonest and selfish, given that he's willing to use her as food when his fight with Kaneki leaves him wounded and unable to hunt. Nishiki is the way he is because a family tragedy destroyed his trust in others and turned him into a lone wolf. Even then, it's hard to imagine him giving up his bloodlust, adjusting to a life without killing, and living in harmony with humans and ghouls. But that's what happens. He does remain foul-mouthed and hot-tempered as ever though. You can't have everything now, can you? Academy City's strongest Esper makes the cut at number 7. The pale-faced, white-haired Accelerator's not only aloof and unfriendly, he's a willing participant in what appears to be a highly unethical experiment that requires him to kill thousands of clones to raise his own power level. Quite unnecessary given that his psychic ability, One-Way Road, is immense. Accelerator's transformation begins when he's defeated by Kamijo Toma, a regular student with no psychic powers except for a mysterious ability to negate any supernatural attack. Accelerator's loss also spells the end of the experiment. His metamorphosis is complete when he meets his ward Last Order, a clone like one of the thousands he's killed. In a remarkable change, the cold-hearted teenager is now willing to endanger his own life in order to save hers. We later find out Accelerator's motive for joining the experiment was to power up to such a level that no one would dare challenge him and be destroyed by his powers. Since the switch to Mr. Nice Guy, Accelerator's even got his own side story in the magical franchise of which he's the chief protagonist. Next up is Viral from Gurren Lagann. Viral is a member of the Beastmen, a clan of humanoids that rule the world by terrorizing humankind. A recurring villain for quite a bit of this acclaimed series, Viral considers the free-spirited Kamina his biggest rival and would do anything to defeat him, even if it means joining forces with just about anyone willing to take on the leader of Team Daiguren and his brother Simon. Sadly for him, his efforts almost always end in failure. Despite his sinister appearance and obsession with Kamina, Viral has some honorable, even redeeming qualities. While he hates to lose, he won't stand for victory at the cost of his pride and honor. He's empathetic to even those who treat him poorly, and his inquiring mind makes him question the orders he's given rather than just follow them blindly. So given the way he is, it's no surprise that he eventually becomes one of the good guys. After being saved by Simon, Viral not only joins Team Daiguren on the former's request, but succeeds Kamina as the pilot, a wonderful tribute indeed to a fallen rival he always admired. Next is Frankie from One Piece.
Okay, before I get going, I had a lot of thoughts. I wanted to let him finish. I had a lot of thoughts about that last one. Gurren Lagann, they really need a shortened version, one without all the extra like time. Like for people who's already seen it and want to rewatch it, because I'm not trying to see all the character growth and this stuff again. I just kind of want to like re-experience it, but like without the stuff I already know, because it was kind of slow. They took a lot of time. It was just a lot of walking, a lot of talking, a lot of fighting too, which I was cool with. But it should have been more. It should have been like at least some, like you could probably take out a bunch, like if you took out all the extra walking and talking, that's like 2 episodes runtime probably taken out right there. So like that's what I'm waiting for, a version like that.
Where do we start about the next entry on this list? Before he became anime's most superhero in underpants and the shipwright and genius inventor of the Straw Hat Pirates, this seafaring cyborg was a bit of a Yakuza-style gangster. In the Water 7 arc that introduces his character, Franky and his shipbreaking crew not only steal the Straw Hats' money, which they need for a new ship, but also beat Usopp to a pulp. The usually cheerful Usopp is already pretty miserable over the fact that his beloved Mary can no longer sail. Seeing him treated this way, watching him beg for the money and then despair over his own weakness makes us hate Franky's guts all that much. He totally deserved to have Robin perform her clutch move on his crown jewels during his initiation into the crew, that's definitely for sure. Of course, Franky makes up for his early mistakes by building the Straw Hats the ship of their dreams, a worthy successor to Mary. These days, Franky's better known for his cool hairstyles, dazzling laser beams, and giving the Marines endless headaches by breaking into Dr. Vegapunk's lab. But who can forget that this lovable Hulk was once the catalyst for the Straw Hats' greatest internal crisis? Our next candidate's a wannabe singer, songwriter, musician, cat lover, and foster son of an ancient dragon. Gargiel Red Fox, the Iron Dragon Slayer, has bad boy written all over him, from his long spiky hair to the piercings on his face and body. These days, he's busy fighting dark forces, protecting his girl, and bickering with fellow Dragon Slayer Natsu. He's strong, loyal, reliable, and friendly, although a tad bit grumpy. For as long as we can remember, he's been one of the pillars of Fairy Tail. But rewind to the beginning of the series, and our favorite Iron Eater actually starts off pretty bad. Then a member of Phantom Lord, Gargiel leads an attack on Fairy Tail, destroys its guild hall, and attacks its weakest members in the worst possible way. There's no strong motive behind his actions other than the fact that he's taking down the competition, and this is perhaps why he readily accepts Fairy Tail Master Makarov's offer to join the guild after he's soundly defeated by Natsu. Though Gargiel's sense of comradeship eventually grows strong and deep, there are those who still view him as disloyal and opportunistic, such as the Dark Guild Raven Tail. Gargiel uses this to his advantage as he successfully infiltrates Raven Tail on Makarov's orders. Sometimes a bad rep isn't all that bad. Taking the number 3 spot is Scar of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. A villain of circumstance, but a villain all the same, Scar's a vigilante and killer who targets state alchemists. A survivor of the Ishval Civil War, his actions are driven by his hatred of alchemists who massacred his people and
Before we get too deep in this, what was up with that Snake Dragon Slayer? Not the snake one, but the Poison Dragon Slayer. He really didn't do much, did he? I don't remember much from him besides like the Horatio Sace arc, and then at the end, I don't remember anything else that happened with him.
Destroyed his homeland. Now, this blind hatred at times makes him attack innocents who have no connection to his troubled history. Scar's physical strength, intelligence, and thirst for vengeance make him a dangerous opponent to even the most skilled alchemists. And despite his fundamental opposition to alchemy, his right hand possesses a strain of alchemy that lays to waste anything it touches. As his arch nemesis Kimberly puts it, all this man knows how to do is destroy. What makes Scar even more fearsome is his belief that he's bringing God's wrath upon his enemies. But even in his crazed pursuit of revenge, he shows glimpses of his former, kinder self. For instance, his uncharacteristic response to May's little panda, or the way Ed and Al's relationship reminds him of his dead brother and makes him soften just that tiny little bit. When he ultimately starts looking at things without his veil of hatred, the alchemists find in Scar a potent ally in their battle against the evil homunculi. Taking the number 2 spot is the guy who had us all fooled into thinking he was the devil's spawn. Before he became the benevolent Kazekage and Naruto's friend, Gaara was a creepy 12-year-old who exuded menace with his dark-rimmed green eyes, bristly red hair, and permanent scowl. In childhood, the Sand Shinobi is the complete foil to Naruto. If Naruto's a ray of sunshine, he's a dark storm cloud. The Chunin exam arc introduces Gaara as the series' first villain, who's of the same age as its lovable hero. Because he has the one-tailed beast Shukaku sealed inside him, Gaara is shunned by his father, feared by his siblings, and detested detested by his people. A loner who's sworn to love only himself, he's hostile to any and all. He's powerful and not afraid to use that power to hurt others. He shows no remorse, neither does he show mercy, even to those weaker than him. Friendships and human bonds mean little to him. All that changes though when he meets Naruto. For those of us who've grown up with this shonen classic, we now know Gaara to be strong, responsible, gentle and mild-mannered. He's a skilled ninja, an inspiring leader, a steadfast friend and a loyal ally. He's also popular with the ladies. Seeing him now, you almost forget the young child filled with animosity and at war with the whole world. We've reached the end of the line and it's time to reveal our number one pick. Just remember that there's an ocean of difference between him and all the others on this list. As such, his journey to the good side is the most fascinating by far. He's a prince and heir to one of the strongest warrior races in the planet. He's also done things few full-time villains have achieved in their lifetimes, which includes kicking the person who's healed you, beating up your kid for no good reason, selling your soul for power, nearly getting your wife and son killed, finishing off half-dead opponents, killing a comrade who's been by your side since you were a kid, murdering innocents again and again and again, and destroying an entire planet just for the fun of it. He is Vegeta, Super Saiyan and super bad. There's no points for guessing. Vegeta might be one of the good guys now, but through the Dragon Ball franchise's long ride, he's essayed every other role imaginable. Villain, anti-hero, even comic relief. If you recall his infamous mustache in Dragon Ball GT, notch that up as one of his crimes along with being smug, cocky, elitist and arrogant. Vegeta's list of evil deeds sometimes crosses the line of criminal stupidity, like when he allows Cell to achieve his perfect form only to then be taken down by that form. He might have eventually ended up as the perfect family man and Earth's great champion, but he's still no angel and never will be. And there you have it, the top 10 anime good guys who started off bad. I hope you
would think, you know, they would train the giant monkey form more. But actually, no, they did lose their tail. But, you know, they could probably find a way to get that back. Other than, like, you know, GT Bluck Waves or whatever they called it. They probably would have figured out something. Get the Dragon Balls. Got the Dragon Balls, wish the Saiyan tails back. There you go. I mean, every Saiyan alive, give them their tails. There you go. Just like that. I'm mad. Like, when I saw the title, I didn't immediately think of Vegeta. I should have thought that. But hey, if y'all top 10 can literally be all face, that's facts. That's facts. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here because for some reason people like to do that. So yeah, hope y'all like, sub, and comment. Yeah, I'm out. Peace.